Did you tell the Attorney General that the president's name is in the Epstein Files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein Files?
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're gonna
or
mock
no,
me?
Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein Files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
did
by
you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's name-
country and the number of pedophiles that are
Director,
legally
reclaiming
harbored
my time,
in your
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California?
reclaiming
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that. Do
Regular
you
order,
want to
Mr.
work with
Chairman.
us on that?
Director,
I'm
reclaiming
the
my
lawless
time.
gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein Files?
The question
Yes or no?
has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
Good day, beautiful people. Welcome back to POV Politics, your go-to source for unfiltered political news coverage. You're hanging with your host, Shay. Remember to like, share, and subscribe because this is an important topic. Now, you just heard from Rep. Eric Swalwell pressing FBI Director Kash Patel on whether Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein Files. And while MAGA circles have shouted for years about government pedophiles and secret lists, this problem is bigger than Epstein, bigger than one billionaire, and way bigger than bipartisan talking points. So today we're looking at police officers, judges, school superintendents, and mayors, state senators, people in power in our communities being caught and charged or convicted of crimes against children. That's where the real silence lives, and that's where we will be exposing them.
A police officer in Deming pleaded guilty to child pornography in federal court. According to court documents, between March and November last year, Jesus Lopez Jr. was in a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. Investigators found evidence on the teen's phone, including videos of them having sex and photos of bruises from fights. He's facing between 5 and 15 years in prison. Lopez was placed on administrative leave in November. We reached out to Deming police about his current employment status. We are still waiting to hear back.
We are following some breaking news right now. The former Jacksonville Sheriff's Officer gang unit member who was arrested for child sex crimes has been sentenced to 292 months in prison. Josue Garriga was involved in a number of scandals over the last 5 years, including the shooting death of FAMU student Jamie Johnson in 2019 and the violent arrest of Lakean Woods last year, before pleading guilty to the child sex crimes brought against him earlier this year.
A former Seabrook police officer now faces a federal charge of receiving child sexual abuse material. 49-year-old John Giarrusso at his first court appearance. Giarrusso is accused of receiving explicit videos of children between the ages of 5 and 11 years old on the app Kik. He was arrested on state charges last month and had been out on bail. Seabrook's police chief says that Giarrusso has resigned.
And right now at noon, the case of a retired Jefferson Parish Reserve deputy accused of sending sexual messages to a 14-year-old girl takes center stage at the Jefferson Parish courthouse. The sheriff has already described James Traylor as a, quote, monster. But 6 months now since his arrest, the DA still has not formally charged him.
James Traylor's attorney darting out of court Wednesday morning. Traylor is out on bond. New court records show the DA has not completed the review of his charges. Records show if the charges are refused, Traylor could leave. But if the charges are accepted, he will be arraigned and enter a plea. Traylor was arrested back in March of this year. He's accused of computer-aided solicitation of a minor and obstruction of justice. He's also accused of exchanging about 5,000 texts with a 14-year-old girl over 2 weeks. Investigators say his alleged victim was a student at St. Angela Marisi in Metairie. Traylor's been banned from JP schools and diocese schools. JPSO says Traylor asked the teen for pictures as she got in and out of the shower, and also told her he wanted to, quote, be in bed with her. I uncovered the JPSO security details that Traylor worked since 2022, adding up to more than 6,000 hours. Many of those details, playgrounds and schools.
Former Owensboro Public School Superintendent was sentenced today for exploiting children. 52-year-old Matthew Constant was indicted by a federal grand jury in August last year with multiple charges of enticement of a minor and sexual exploitation. Now, in July of 2023, he was also arrested for having an inappropriate relationship with a student. In court yesterday, he gave a statement expressing his remorse. His defense was asking for 20 years, but Constant was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison, which means he is not eligible for parole.
A former mayor in Prince George's County accused of having child sex abuse images, and the allegations span much of the time he was in office.
DC News Now's Marielle Carbone has been following this story for us. And Marielle, what are neighbors telling you tonight?
Well, Chris and Susan, University Park, that is where Joel Bierman previously served as mayor. It is a small, tight-knit community. So the neighbors there, they tell me they're disgusted and disappointed by these allegations. Tonight, they are just trying to make sense of his arrest. Bierman served on the town council from June 2020 through June 2022, and then as mayor until June 2024. In a statement, town administrator Debbie Sandlin says these are serious charges and the town is ready to assist as requested.
I'm surprised.
Adam Richmond, who's lived in University Park for 25 years, says he's become jaded. Last year, the mayor of neighboring College Park pled guilty to 60 counts of distribution of child pornography.
Let's pause right here and really break this down. Think about what we're really seeing. For years, right-wing media has screamed at the top of their lungs about Democrats supposedly running some secret cabal, using conspiracy theories like Pizzagate to rally people up. But when you strip away the noise and just look at the facts, the truth is much heavier, and it's not about left versus right. It's about predators hiding in plain sight. It's about people in position of authority, senators, judges, cops, even school leaders, abusing the very trust that was supposed to protect family and children. That's not internet rumors. That's the courtroom records, that's indictments, and that's guilty pleas. When a senator from North Dakota gets 10 years for sex tourism, when an Arizona lawmaker is convicted of abusing minors, and police officers and superintendents are busted for exploiting children, that's not conspiracy. That's documented facts. And the bigger question we should be asking is, why isn't this constantly in the media and talked about every single news segment? Because here's the reality. If we only cherry pick outrage when it's politically convenient, then predators slip through the cracks. If we're really truly serious about protecting kids, then justice has to apply evenly, no matter what the title says, no matter what party they belong to, no matter what badge they wear.
Specifically, Navarrete has been charged with 1 count of child molestation, 5 counts of sexual conduct with a minor, and 1 count of attempting to commit molestation of a child. And according to court documents, Navarrete apologized to one of the victims, who is now 16 years old, in a phone conversation that was recently recorded by Phoenix police. And in the days following his arrest, Democratic as well as Republican lawmakers and Governor Doug Ducey all demanded he step down. In the end, Navarrete sent this short message to State Senate President Karen Fann that simply read, "Effective immediately, I am officially resigning my post as Arizona State Senator for District 30.
Oregon's top judge for settling disputes between citizens and state agencies is facing child pornography allegations tonight. John Mann has been indicted by a grand jury on 10 counts of encouraging child sex abuse. Mann is Oregon's chief administrative law judge. The governor's office says he has been placed on unpaid leave. Mann appeared in Washington County Court today and pleaded not guilty.
Charleston, the South Carolina Supreme Court says they have suspended Charleston County Magistrate Judge James B. Gosnell Jr. amid federal charges involving child sexual abuse material. 68-year-old James Gosnell appearing in federal court Wednesday, and that's where a judge denied bond. Investigators say the charges stem from a tip by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, linking him to online financial transactions with a distributor of child sexual abuse material in November of 2024. Well, court records show Gosnell is now going to face another hearing that is set for September 22nd.
A former judge and ex-fire chief in Utah accused of child sex crimes could now be facing federal charges. It is our top story tonight on 2 News at 6. I'm Heidi Hatch.
And I'm Mark Cabell. 2 criminal defense lawyers said today as co-defendants Kevin Christensen and Ned Brady Hansen are just hours away from court proceedings. Brian Malahi live outside the federal court in Salt Lake. And Brian, right now this is only a state case, right?
That is correct, but we are asking about possible federal charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Salt Lake City says it can't comment on investigations. The DOJ says, though, in cases like this, the accused can be prosecuted by both the state and the feds.
The punishment is higher in the federal system for these type of offenses.
Criminal defense lawyer Clayton Sims.
Would you would not be surprised if there are additional charges here?
No. That's my guess is that's what's delaying the federal indictment. They're fully investigating.
Another defense attorney, Catherine Cleveland, agreed today there could be federal charges. Among other things, the ex-judge is accused of sex chats with a person who said she was a 13-year-old female child and another who identified as a 16-year-old female, in which it's alleged nude images were shared. On the date charges were filed, both minors were unknown to law enforcement. Also in the court docs, Sims is struck by what Christensen, a veteran judge, reportedly did after being read his Miranda rights.
He, sort of tattletaled on himself. He snitched on himself. It's very odd that he was presented with questioning, that he answered the questions.
So here's my bottom line. We don't need to just focus on the famous cases while ignoring predators working in our courtrooms, classrooms, and police departments. MAGA wants to weaponize Epstein, but they're so quiet when it comes to their own senators, judges, or officers. My POV is simple. Child exploration is not partisan. It's systematic. And if we don't call it out for what it is at every level, the cycle continues. If you see something, say something. Report it, please. Because in this administration and this climate, we have to stand united to protect our communities, especially the most vulnerable, our children and elders. So, as always, remember, facts over fear, love instead of hate, and always get your facts straight. Talk to you soon.
Holmberg would go out by the alias of Sean Evan or Evans during that time. And this all comes over a year after Inform reporter April Baumgarten uncovered text messages between Holmberg and 35-year-old Nicholas Morgan DeRozier, who pled guilty to federal child porn charges in late September. Holmberg says those messages were about patio work and other projects on his home in Grand Forks. And in 2020, Holmberg gave Morgan DeRozier a ride to Bismarck so he could discuss a construction fraud case at the Attorney General's office. But that investigation led officers to evidence that would later be tied to Morgan DeRozier's child porn case. Now, Holmberg was released today on supervision. He's not allowed to leave the Grand Forks or East Grand Forks area, and he's also not allowed to be in contact with anyone under the age of 18. And the federal indictment also ordered him to give up his iPad and cell phone, and his initial trial date is set for December 5th.
Court documents show former North Dakota Senator Ray Holmberg is continuing to violate conditions of his release as he awaits sentencing on child sex tourism charge.
He did tell you how Holmberg violated conditions of his release. That includes drinking alcohol, leaving home without approval, and going on the internet multiple times without approval. A release status report says he's continuing to go on the internet for reasons not approved by pretrial services. He's done this multiple times in August and one more time at the end of September.